we'll dive into the topic right now, just to because it's a great topic, very very interesting. We're going to talk about AI in education. So AI is disrupting the whole entire world. The world will never be the same, right? And it affects different aspects of life. It affects business, it affects productivity, social interactions, and of course, education. So today we will look at AI in the education sector. So let's begin with this right here, and then we will discuss in groups. So maybe Clara, can you start here?
Uh, yeah, compare learning with a human teacher versus with AI tools or technology. For each type of learning below, make sure to.
Good, very good. And Bartosz, maybe read these 2 points.
To discuss some potential advantages and disadvantages of both options. Decide which one you would prefer to be taught by. Explain your reasons.
Good, good, good. Awesome. So here we're basically just going to compare learning from a human teacher and learning from AI, right? So pluses and minus, pros and cons, and then try to use this. I would prefer to be taught by, right? So I would prefer to be taught by, it's the passive tense, right? And then talk about learning a foreign language, right? A lot of you like foreign languages, you speak several languages. Okay, what about your writing skills? Right, ChatGPT, all right, software, right? There's all these softwares, video creation, right? This Excel, Adobe, all of these, right? All these editors, also video editors, and taking a course, actually learning, like a high school or a college course. Would you prefer a human? Would you prefer AI, and why? Okay, so just talk about this, compare these two with your partner. I'll be jumping around from group to group, so, don't mind me. Okay, all right, guys, so let's join your partner right here. All right, so Jana, this is Clara. So Clara, maybe tell Jana a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Hi, so I am Clara. I work for an agency in the Czech Republic, and I also live in Czech Republic. And we, with other members of this group, are together in one company. But it's like three of us, not all of us. And yeah, I'm also 32. No, actually, I'm 33. I forgot.
Oh,
But I look 32.
oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. Okay. Nice. 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 Perfect. All right. So let's see. Maybe we can start. So maybe Jana, you can, in general, with a macro view, would you prefer a human teacher or an AI tool, and why?
Well, since I am into language learning and into foreign language learning, I've been learning Spanish, for example, for more than 4 years now. I started back in 2021 during the pandemic. So during the pandemic, it was very difficult to attend something personally. So I had to find resources online and also had to take online classes, of course. But for me and my liking, I think online for me is more my cup of tea because it's much cheaper than going to a language school because here language schools in Germany are I mean, I don't want to pay like 50 euros for 45 minutes. No, thanks.
Really? Oh,
That's
wow.
not my liking.
Right.
And
Okay.
now I have Spanish teacher from Colombia. I meet with him twice a week for an hour.
Nice.
And yeah, quite
Cool.
much more economical, I would say.
Right. Right, right. Great. That's a great perspective. And let's pass it on to Clara, and you can give us your opinion, Clara. So, what do you think? Human teacher or AI in general?
Uh, I will always prefer human contact. So let's say human teacher is better, but of course it depends on your level. I would say that you can start with AI and learn basic grammar and then hire some native speaker for improving your communicational skill.
Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, that's a combination is best, right? So some just the learning, just the content, maybe. Right, AI is fine, but for the skills, the actual communication skills, right, in the conversation, cool, cool, great. Well, you can continue here, talk about foreign languages, writing, software, and specialized, content, right? So continue, but feel free to talk about anything you want. Don't worry, it's not strict. All right, so I'll check in with the other guys.
But job in the restaurants. It's not a good future for us. More depressions.
Oh wow, with AI.
With AI, yeah,
Yeah.
new challenges like depression.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and now like do you think, what can cause, what specifically, Pavel, can cause, let's say, depression with AI? Is there a specific aspect?
Because you couldn't socialize. Everything is without the emotions. Yes, robots has some kind of emotions, but it's still robotic, and you don't care about their emotions. But if you speak with a human and you do some mistakes, some think what is against that person, he will be angry or sad, and this is how we learn how our brains react, and these kind of topics could create depression.
Oh, that's a good point. Very good. So, Pavel, just remember your favorite mistake. Robots has
Have
Okay, and good. Do mistake or make a mistake? Which one sounds better?
make
Make is correct. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Pavel, right? So it's kind of, we're socialized. We live in a society. So AI can kind of disconnect us from other people. And that's a big issue. Great point. And Geoffrey, what do you think?
Yeah, actually, I agree with that point. I was thinking about any good reason to use AI, like AI teacher those days. And for me, maybe the first reason could be the cost, because I assume that an AI is always available, and the cost is always the same. And I would say that the time for a real teacher can be more expensive, or is often more expensive. So maybe that's the main reason. But maybe in the near future, a real no, not a real. So an AI teacher will be able to challenge a real teacher experience. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm sure you've seen these AI avatars, these teachers on your phone that come and say, "Hey, I will teach you to blah blah blah." But honestly, I've
Yeah.
tried all of them. I've tried, and I don't get the satisfaction.
That's funny because a couple months ago, I was contacted by a company who was trying to build AI interviewer for to hire people. So that was their product, and in order to be hired by this company, you had to pass an exam with an AI. But I didn't pass it. But yeah, I saw some videos about it. It was really weird actually.
Right. Well, Pavel said something that's interesting about it's the emotions, right? I mean, who knows? Right now, machines, computers, and algorithms don't have emotions. But some people say it's possible. So, Pavel, what do you think about, let's say, other skills? Let's say writing skills or software editing. You know, can you learn those better from a person or from AI?
Now it's still better from person, but if you have some knowledge, the example we did the big RFI tender for a company for the big new website. They are leader. It's Deutsche Post, and I create the whole materials by myself. And 1 year ago, I have to work on it with 5 people from different different stuff like programmer, copywriter,
So different.
marketing, and other. And now I can create it. I can create it just with ChatGPT and on a very high level. And in the end, I have to check it with these people, but they didn't thinking about content. They just thinking make it sense. Yes, make it sense. And it was 3 times quicker, and just with it was one-man show.
Yeah, good. So you can say maybe you can say different job functions, right? The editor, the product manager. So these are job functions, and it makes sense.
Okay,
Right. So the question be, does it make sense?
it makes
Does
sense.
it make sense? Question, yes, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Good. So continue the conversation here, maybe 1 or 2 more minutes.
Affect, some overall, like quality of for example, the certificate. If I, attend some class with a real teacher, he can probably much better see the results or some improvements compared to just typing something into some applications, online. Because you can also cheat somehow, your answers, but still it depends on the
Yeah,
thing what we are learning.
yeah, but still, I believe that if you can participate in your own course, yeah, so like you provide the answers to the AI tool, and it's able to recognize your level, yeah, and for example that your experience or your knowledge is deeper. It can provide you with the like higher level stuff for you that you can go deeper in the topic. But usually when you participate in a group learning, yeah, we have one teacher or one lecturer, usually they have to provide some basic level or some medium level to be 100% that the most of the group will be able to follow them. Yeah. And it's not the good option if you would like to be like a superstar in the topic.
Right, exactly. So it's like kind of tailor it, like the AI is tailored. It can use more and it can process more data.
Yeah.
Right. So all this data, right? Whereas with the human side, it's true. It's more like standardized. Right. But the thing is, is there something that a human can provide that AI can't?
Yeah. So we are talking about this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So firstly, I was sharing my experience from studying law. Yeah. And I said like the theory is something which which can be easy read by books from books, yeah.
Right.
But rather, during my studies, we looked for some practical advices or the real world experience of carrying out some lawsuits proceedings. Well, yeah, and it's something, yeah. But I think that the AI tool is not able today to provide because of the lack of databases for it.
Right.
Yes, and secondly, of course, Dominic was talking about like the importance of human teacher in learning languages and communication skills. Yeah, because it's something like not everything that 100% should be perfect, but we are talking about like communication, body language as well, and it's rather difficult to be mimicked by the AI tools. Yeah, Dominic, would you like to add something?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. That's, it's you're totally right. Some things can't be, produced by AI. So it's almost like a combination would be the best. Right.
Yeah.
Kind of covering both sides. Okay, let's go
And
back.
also, David.
Yeah. All right, welcome back, everyone. So I think Bartosz, you started saying something.
Yeah, we discussed with Dominic that we have never chance to meet you in person, so we are not 100% sure that you are a human teacher.
Maybe I'm AI. Maybe I'm AI.
But I can confirm I saw David personally.
Pavel saw me and Joffrey saw me in person. So, but yeah, I'm real. For now, I'm real. But you never know. I like to play around with AI, and so let me give you some feedback. It's great conversations. So with learning a foreign language, right? The thing is, language is nuanced. And sometimes AI is getting much better, but sometimes when it comes to the cultural context, the nuances that are, sometimes it's like, yeah, it's right, but it doesn't feel right. It's grammatically correct, but I don't know, it feels weird. These kinds of things, are so complex that sometimes humans do have, an upper hand when it comes to that. Right? Also the spontaneity, right? So it's the language is spontaneous, right? And the motivation, the emotional aspect, that's something else, right? When it comes to writing, tone and creativity are very important in writing. AI can give you the grammar, the structure, all of that. But when it comes to developing your voice, you might need a human being to develop it better, right? And those are general things, right? The main idea here is looking at human aspects and then just practical aspects. But of course, with AI, you've got a lot of data, a lot of processing. It's scalable, and it can also be tailored to your specific needs, right? So this was a good warm up. And right now, we are going to do the second activity here, which is another conversation. Right, so you kind of take what you talked about here and kind of recycle it. You want to recycle it. Think of other types of learning you would prefer to do with a human teacher, with AI or tech tools. You can also talk about what I said, right? The voice, the nuance, the creativity, right? The emotional aspect. Talk about that, right? And then think about different generations, because it's different, right? Most of us were millennials. I think all of us are millennials, right? So we're a unique generation, but I work with older generations, but I also work with Generation Z and, the I generation, the Alpha, and it's different, completely different. So think about that, right? What role do you think do you think AI would play in the classroom, according to them, right? So the role of AI in the classroom, right, learning, and yeah, where do you stand on this issue? So try to use some of these expressions. So, so you can ask someone, where do you stand on the issue? Do you see that's advanced. Basic English, what do you think? What's your opinion? Advanced English, where do you stand on this issue? All right, it's very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, great. So, a deeper conversation with a new partner. And this one will be a little bit shorter. A little bit shorter. So, join your next partner.
So,
Other things. So maybe you can read them. In sense, maybe Bartosz, you can ask Clara the first one if you want.
Of course. Clara, do you see, or maybe not. How do you stand on the issue of another types of learning, which would you also prefer to do with a human teacher?
Nice.
so which learning I would always choose a human teacher.
Right.
for.
Hard question.
Yeah, think of other areas maybe. Think about
We
the
may,
gym.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because like everything that come to my mind, I afterwards argue with myself that it can also be taught with AI and it's all right.
Okay. So
But
remember, Clara, everything that comes to mind. So not comes to my mind.
yeah.
Well, think about that. Let's say a hobby, right? Or
Yeah, I am thinking about sewing.
yes, sewing.
Sewing.
Sewing, and that's what Bartosz does. Yeah. Yeah.
So sewing, I maybe yes, I would prefer to not always, but usually I would choose a human teacher because, and that's the reason, I had many options how to learn sewing before, but I have never started because I was either too lazy or didn't have time or whatever. But then I said, stop, enough, and I sign up for a offline course where I have to be in person, like present. So that's what make me to even start because you paid for it and you had to come there.
Right. And people are counting on you,
Yeah.
right? If an AI avatar is waiting for you, but if a real person is like, "Hey, Clara,
Yeah.
I'm here, waiting for you," then there's that social pressure,
Yes.
right? Okay, interesting. Bartosz, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking about once again my one of my favorite topics, like my brain. So left and right side. So I think that the AI tools are like built on algorithms are much better in everything what our left side of brain does. Yeah. So like
kind of difficult because you don't have the socialization anymore. You're depending on a machine more or less.
But you don't
So
have
I
to
think
socialize.
socialization is a very important thing.
Interesting, right? So you can't socialize with a machine, right?
Exactly.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay. Geoffrey, what do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with this idea. I think human teaching for example, for something like public speaking or any communication skills or learning a foreign language, it's more efficient for me to practice with a real teacher, because actually we have to talk in front of or with a real human. So for me, it's better to practice with real human. So that sounds obvious, but yes, for me it's important. But I won't drop AI for everything, because, for example, as a software engineer, sometimes when I want to learn new technical skills, so I will try to follow new courses or watching some videos, and if it's explained by a robot, I think it won't change my way of learning. So it will be as quicker as with a real human. I think for me it's not really, it doesn't really matter.
Right? Because it's just information, right?
Mhm.
It's just information, a robot can give it to you. That's a good point. Good point. Okay, nice. And Jana, let's talk about generations, different generations. Your parents, if you know people that are, younger than us, than our generation, what do you think the difference is between the generations?
Well, I can actually use the example of my sister, because she works in the same field, exactly the same field like you, David.
Really?
She is an English teacher
Wow.
and a German teacher. She works with 16 and above
Oh, wow. Okay. Online or in person?
in person.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And she also discussed like the problem with AI in schools. And we also have like some schools here in Germany who like test how AI affects the learning ability in schools. With the younger generation, like 16 and minor, it's tricky because they very quickly get very distracted and don't really pay attention to the teacher and following the lesson. And so my sister says, yes, they are allowed to use AI, but only under my supervision.
Wow.
And if they don't follow the rules I'm setting, yeah, then that's it for them and the class.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point, right? Because you think, AI, it's a good tool, but does it affect the mind? Does it actually disempower your natural abilities? Some people say that. Some people say that, yeah, it's cool. You can do all these things and become very productive, but your IQ over time can diminish. Right. So that's a great point. Great point. Yeah. Yeah. My mom she teaches at the university level. She says they're thinking that to just cancel completely writing assignments, or to go back like to the traditional way where it's like you sit down in a classroom, no phones, piece of paper and pen, and okay, 90 minutes, write. Right? It's one or the other, because you just can't, you can't do it. Okay, interesting. So Geoffrey, maybe continue this conversation about the different generations.
Yeah, sure.
Now it's stable and a little bit going down. What this study shows.
So what's going down?
About IQ, because the humans getting beat down.
Right? That's true. That's true. Yeah. So our natural abilities, right, our natural IQ, our intelligence is going down, but yet our productivity is going up. Right?
Yeah.
So we can do all these things, and oh yeah, click here, ChatGPT, do this for me, edit this video, do that. You can just talk nonsense for 5 minutes and then be like, hey, write a paper about this.
Right. Because we working on the task and we don't have time for thinking. That's sad.
Yeah. Now, the question is, I mean, do we need it? Do we need to work on our natural abilities, or should we focus more on mastering the AI tools? So maybe Dominic, you can.
Yeah, but I think both. Uh, uh, right now, I think both parts are important. I'm not sure about the future, maybe, but still, this human level or behavior, behaving
Behavior, yeah.
behavior. Uh, it will be still very important, and maybe even more in future. To like uh, like mm, when we want to extinct or
Oh yeah, become extinct, yeah.
yeah, become extinct in this way.
Or-
But for for our future occupation, it's also important to use and understand of AI. So maybe it's about the proportion, what's more important.
Right.
No.
So what proportion would you say?
I think
Yeah, go ahead, Pavel.
so I think our generation from 20 to 40 maybe will be powerful because these people living in that main age without AI, and we will be more to know more.
All right, guys. So Pavel, you had a very interesting point about our generation, the millennials. So can you explain it to the whole class?
My opinion is the people from 20 to 40 now could be very powerful generation because when we learn everything, we lives without that AI tools, and maybe our mind will be more universal because we still have the critical mind, and we still thinking when we do something, and AI could be our good what is good slave.
Yeah, that's a good point, Pavel, right? So it's almost like we have one foot in both worlds, one foot in the real human world and one foot in the AI world. So we understand both worlds so we can manage. Yeah, that's a good point. Another very interesting analogy was like, let's say a tennis player. So tennis player needs to practice by themselves. Maybe they need to hit the ball against the wall, right? And that will be the AI, where you're just practicing on your own. But any tennis player needs to, play against another person, right? So it's kind of like that. You can use AI just on your own, kind of again, like hitting the ball against the wall. But then you need to play the game, which is that's the human side. You need to go out, talk to another human being, learn the skills. Okay, so now we're going to jump into some advanced vocabulary. So I'm going to teach you here a few advanced terms, and then we will check out these two opinions, Jonah and Myra, and then you will agree right with or disagree with them with their next partner. Okay, so first let me explain these terms. So inert means it doesn't move, right? It doesn't move. It's or it's irreplaceable. You can't replace. Okay, so that's good. Bespoke. It's almost like tailored. Something is bespoke, right? It is custom made. It's tailored, for an individual. Next one, bleak. Bleak, it's kind of like without a promise, like not promising, it's depressing. There's no hope. That's bleak. And then fallible here means it's capable of making mistakes, right? Fallible means like, think of it like they can fall, they can make mistakes. So let's check out some of these and then we will continue. So let's see, maybe Yana, you can start right here.
In my opinion, a future where people are taught only by AI sounds quite cold or um
Cold, depressing, kind of without hope.
okay, my mind goes blank.
No worries, no worries. No worries. Or just guess. If you're not sure, just guess. And
I am thinking about bespoke or oblique, but I'm
okay,
not sure which
it's
one.
one of those two. So bespoke is tailored to someone, and then bleak is like dark. Sounds quite cold.
Yeah, we'll go with bleak here, I
Yeah,
would say.
good. That's the one. It's bleak, right? It's a bleak future. It's a cold, depressing future, right? So this is what Jonah says. Okay, very good. Very, very good. Next one, maybe Bartosz.
The problem with AI is that it doesn't show human behavior or emotions. Why would I want to be taught by inert? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So that inert means it
inert
doesn't
machine. Yeah.
inert machine, right? It can't move. Right. Inert in this context would kind of mean it doesn't,
Yeah.
right, it
Have
can't
any
act,
emotions? Yeah.
right, it can't act, it can't move. It's just an algorithm, right? It's not alive, it's dead. Right. Okay, very, very good. And Dominic.
I believe human teachers will always be mm, will always be uh, uh, irreplaceable.
Yeah. Yeah, irreplaceable. Right. So this is what Jonah believes. He says, uh, human teachers, they're never going to be replaced. They're irreplaceable. He says he can't imagine a future where, you know, AI is the only teacher. Right. So now let's look at what Myra has to say. All right. So here we can ask maybe Clara.
I have quite a positive outlook for the future of AI in education. While human teachers are valuable, they're also more imperfect and fallible.
Right. Good. So she says, she feels good about this. She says, I believe AI in education is a good thing. Human teachers are valuable. It's true, but they're imperfect and they can also make mistakes. Right? They're not perfect. Right? They can make mistakes. They can be wrong. Right? Human beings. That's okay. That's who we are. And Geoffrey, you can do the last one.
I think AI will personalize learning styles and adapt lessons that are more bespoke to each student's individual needs.
Good. Bespoke. Good. So this one, the E here, it's a little bit more like bespoke. Bespoke, right? It's more tailored. Right? It's more tailored. It's custom made. Right. So in your next conversation, try to side with someone. So again, you could say, I side with Jonah. Right. Or of course, you can use basic English. I agree with Jonah. I agree with Myra. Or you can say, I side with this person, or I side with this other person. Right. And maybe, so how would you add to their arguments? Right. Maybe you can say, you know what? I side with Jonah and I would add this. So you strengthen his argument. Or, I side with Myra and then you add something to strengthen or to support her argument, right? So good. So do that one, and also answer this one. If you had access to advanced AI learning tools, how would you personally use them to improve your learning? Right, so imagine, right? Any tool, anything, how would you use them? Okay, so let's see. Let's find a new partner here for this conversation, right? And yes, this can work. All right. Hi, Bartosz. Hi, Jana. All right. So let's see. Jana, let's start with you. So who do you side with more?
I definitely have to side with Jonah at this point because, like I mentioned in previous discussions, that I think socialization is still the key also in learning new languages, for example. And if you don't have this human interaction, it can be quite boring, and you lack of motivation quite fast, and you tend to give up very quickly.
Oh, yes. So the human aspect, motivation is very, very important. Okay, interesting. Very good, Jana. And Bartosz, who do you side with more?
So I strictly side with Myra.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that AI tools and AI education may be a great help and support in learning, especially because they provide the opportunity to have better bespoke learning.
Nice.
They are available 24 hours per 7 day. Yes, and I think that I have no issues with my motivation, and usually this tool provides some options for more motivation, like based on dopamine, like some making gamings, rankings, lists, yes, and so some points, streaks, yes, there are some options for them to motivate. Yeah, still, I think that can be like quite good options to having a deep dive in some topic. Yeah, of course, I agree that if there is like language skills, like talking, not only the learning words by heart or grammar, sometimes this emotional level of and human touch is needed. But if I would like to go into some details of some specific information, yeah, it's all for me. I think that I could use the AI tools with some positive results.
Nice. Well, let's see. That's valid. Both of your opinions are very valid. Now let's try to strengthen our arguments. Right. So you already chose a side. Now you want to strengthen your position, support your argument. So Jana, maybe add some more things to kind of defend your position that human teachers are irreplaceable and that AI can't take over this profession.
Well, I think also when it comes to explaining, I mean, I use AI in language learning, and I also use it in terms of explaining grammar for me, for example, in Spanish. When I don't understand something, I use AI, of course, because my teacher, unfortunately, is not available 24/7. So I have to rely on AI at some point, of course. You can't avoid it, even if you want to, but at some point you use it anyways. And so I think that in the aspect of like giving a good feedback, AI can't really do that, and at some point also like explanations are quite robotic, I would say. So sometimes I tend to not understand the explanation of AI, and I need to like send my teacher a message and say, hey, I didn't get that. Can you explain it to me in other maybe simpler words?
Right. Yeah, 'cause
Um,
that's like the point we were talking about, the nuances of language, right? Kind of that's yeah. And there's nuances to a lot of things. Yeah. Awesome. Very nice, Yana. Great. So continue here. I'm gonna pop into the other groups right here.
mhm.
Great conversation. Feel free to continue. Okay, very nice. All right, guys.
I
Let's
have to move because there's a client coming and I would disturb them. So
okay, no problem. No problem. All right. So let's see what are we talking about, Dominic?
Yeah, we talked about both person and we agreed that Jonah, thinking we agree more with Jonah compared to Mira, but I mentioned that I partially agree with some parts of Mira's statement, say, and especially about some individuals' needs that are, it's easily to, uh, provide any needs by AI compared to a teacher, especially in some classroom full of, students. It's much more difficult. But still, I would prefer Jonah. Uh,
So you side with him a little
yeah,
bit more.
yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. Something else that you would add to it, Clara?
I'm sorry, I didn't listen because my boss was talking to me and so I've been distracted for 2 minutes now.
Okay, well, no problem about that. So let me see. If you had access, the next one, if you had access to advanced AI tools, the most advanced, right? How would you level up your education?
I would ask the AI how is the best way to level up my education and to maybe set some routine for me or to develop some application for me to guide me through this self-developing journey. Easiest way.
That's a good point. How can you explain then? I mean, with ChatGPT can do that and it's free.
Yeah.
Right? How can you, that so many people right now, they have all the tools at their disposal and yet, and so Clara, so we're saying, so how can you explain that, ChatGPT, is, everyone has ChatGPT, they have all these tools to improve their learning, but yet a lot of people are not utilizing it.
Maybe they don't have just, enough motivation to do it because they have no urge to develop themselves or they don't know how to use it and they are maybe afraid of using it because the easiest way is to ask the AI tool how to use the AI tool and they maybe don't know the approach or
Right. Yeah. A lot of these things are very nuanced, right? Very, very nuanced, right? Because you would think that with AI, everyone would be learning and everyone would be developing. But, the data shows that most people are still using AI very primitively, right? And yet they can do so much, but yet people are utilizing maybe 5% at the most, the capacity. Okay, so now we're going to watch this video and then we're going to discuss it. So we're going to break up the video into two parts, right? And the first part will be 1.5 minutes. So let's read these questions before so we know what to pay attention to. So Pavel, can you read this?
What are they attempting to do at GCSE?
Good. So this is the name of the school. That's the name of the school. And what are they trying to do? Okay, good. And Bartosz too.
What do their AI platforms do?
Good. So here you can write down what do they do. And Jana, what about 3?
Does GCSE student Michael say about this approach?
Great, great, great. And Dominic.
What is the role of the learning coaches in the classroom?
Nice. So the learning coaches, who are they and what's their role? What do they do? All right, so let me make sure the audio here. Okay, good. Everything is good, and let's watch this video. Okay, so it's good from Sky News, so it's a real report. It's a real report. Let's watch about a minute and a half. Take notes. Anything that's interesting, you can discuss it with your next partner.
This is about to become the UK's first teacherless classroom, where 20 GCSE students will spend the year being taught by artificial intelligence instead of human teachers.
What we're attempting to do is to use AI in key subjects at GCSE. The 3 sciences, maths, and English and computer science and possibly geography.
The platforms learn what each student excels in and what they need more help with, and then it adapts their lessons for the term. Strong topics are moved to the end of term so they can be revised, while weak topics will be tackled more immediately. And each student's lesson plan is bespoke to them. GCSE students have been testing out the new tech.
Teachers don't know exactly precisely what I'm unable and able to do. Whether the AI can just figure out just by a few questions what I'm weak in and what are my strong points. And it helps me develop into a much smarter student.
Although there won't be teachers in the classroom, there will be 3 learning coaches to help with behaviour and softer subjects that AI might struggle with.
They're not being taught subjects by the learning coaches, but we are covering soft skills like public speaking, debate, and the really important personal aspects of a person that you really want to bring out and develop, and turning young people into young adults.
Some people...
Okay, good. So go with your partner and discuss this first section, right? What was interesting, you can answer the questions, or you can just have a free conversation about this model, this education model. All right, so let's change around right here, and great, join your partner. All right, so Geoffrey, tell us about this model, this business model, this education model. How does it work?
So I think they build something like an AI platforms with VR headsets, and the idea is to record and analyze students in order to deliver some personalized lessons. And they covered many subjects right now, like math, English, computer science, geography, and maybe more of that.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Nice. And Bartosz, what did the students say about this approach?
Students said, "Oh my God, what he said? I forgot." Yeah, but understood when I was listening to Michael's approach. But he was sharing, I think, about I know now. He was sharing the information about how the system may tailor the learning for the students. Yes, and if some topics are like more difficult for the student, is that the repetition are made more frequently.
Right.
If it's something rather is that if the AI understood after a few questions that the position of the student is strong on some subject, the repetition may be like less often. Yeah.
All right. All right. Exactly. So it's almost like the AI is, is analyzing, right,
Yeah.
kind of each
But
student's,
yeah.
right.
And human teachers usually doesn't know the exact level of each student.
Don't.
And it's much easier for AI tool. Yeah.
Right. But the thing is, AI also doesn't. That's the other thing. You know, like someone can record a video and be like, oh yeah, it's like, oh yeah, this is your level, right? But teachers I can pick up on certain patterns, right? And sometimes it's very subtle, right? It's very subtle. It's almost like the kind of the spaces, the pauses, the body language, how comfortable they are. If someone's very comfortable and blah 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 blah, you're like, oh wow, cool, that's and AI, like, even though it's good with data, with just hard data, when it comes to the nuances and this like soft data, right, it's not 100% accurate as well. But you're right.
Of course, I'm only referred to the standpoint of Michael. Yeah.
Right, of course. No, it's true. It's true. Yeah, it's a good point. So maybe Joffrey, you can talk about these learning coaches. What are they exactly, and what's their function?
Yeah. So
But I didn't catch the last question, to be honest. Like,
The
what is
learning
the role
coaches.
of the learning coaches?
You didn't catch? Okay, well, no problem. Yana, what did you catch? Who are these? Well, actually, what do these learning coaches do?
Those learning coaches are actually working on them with on the soft skills like public speaking, writing, and this kind of stuff. And I think like that's a good idea because you definitely can't really learn this from a machine.
Right.
So you need that human contact and this kind of things. And as I was mentioning earlier, to Dominic, was that I strongly disagree with Michael because it might work like in math and geography, but in English as a language.
Right.
And also, if you have a good relationship with your teacher, your teacher also can sense where are your strengths, where are your weaknesses. So you don't really depend on AI to figure that out.
Right. That's a good point. That's a great point, Yana. All right, guys, let's go back to the main group. All right, guys, so we're going to read this very quickly here, and then we can watch the second part and then do the final conversation. So here, maybe Joffrey. So these are all some arguments. These are arguments that oppose teacherless classroom. So basically, right now, you will hear about people say, no, this is a bad idea. I am against AI. And these are the arguments, or here there will be 3 arguments that support this position. So maybe, Joffrey, you can start this one.
Children won't have the opportunity to have a teacher as a role model.
Right, role model, someone to follow, someone to imitate. They won't have that. Okay, and Bartosz, B?
Children will miss out on vital social interaction with peers and teachers.
Okay, so that's it, social interaction. And Clara?
AI is inert, and so it dehumanizes the learning experience.
Right. Dehumanizes, right? It's inert, it's dead, it doesn't move. Okay, and Pavel, D?
Relying only on inert AI could have a dehumanized effect on emotional growth.
Okay, nice. And maybe Dominic.
Teachers' ability to create and prepare lessons is irreplaceable.
Okay, fantastic. And last one, Yana.
AI can't replace teachers' professional judgment and relationships with students.
Good. All right, so which ones of these do they mention? And then again, keep taking notes, and whatever's interesting, you'll be able to discuss with your next partner. So let's see, and let's watch this.
Or disagree and say removing teachers from the equation will harm students in the long run. Chris McGovern was a head teacher and an educational advisor to Number 10. Now he campaigns against ideas like this.
Children will lose a great deal from that AI experience. They need to have teachers, they need to interact with other children, and that's fundamental. The problem with the AI and the computer screen is that it is a machine and it's inert. So you're straight away dehumanizing the process of learning. It's a soulless, bleak future if it's going to be along the AI path only.
Last year, the Department for Education said teachers are irreplaceable, and AI could never be a substitute for teachers' professional judgment and the personal relationship they have with their pupils. This school seems to disagree.
There are many excellent teachers out there, and we have many here at the college, but we're all fallible. If you really want to know exactly why a child is not learning, I think the AI systems can pinpoint that more effectively.
Mickey Carroll, Sky News.
All right, good. So go with your partner, and for the next 5 or so minutes, talk about what were the points, and also, would you like to attend a school like this, or would you send your children to a school like this, right? So, Bartosz, you have 3 kids. Would you send your child to the school? Yes, no, why? Okay. And how worried are you about this, right? About AI replacing teachers, right? And do you think the role of a teacher will always be something only a human can do, right? So basically just wrap up the whole session into this final conversation, and share your ideas. Share what you think. All right, so let's see. Let me try to get some new partners here for everyone. And all right, join your partner.
From Germany.
London,
Germany.
Germany, yes, yeah. Okay. And what do you think about that robots and AI in the school?
Well, I mentioned that in previous discussions that my sister actually works in the same field like David. So she is a German and English teacher, and she uses AI in her classroom, but only under her supervision. She doesn't allow students to use AI on their own because she noticed that if they use AI just to their liking, they highly get distracted and are not following the lesson anymore. And so she said, nope, not in my class. You are just using AI when I want it and only under my supervision. And if AI is able to replace teachers in general, I hope not. I definitely hope not, because then we don't have any socialization anymore. And I think that's a huge point, especially for younger children or younger students. I saw that during the pandemic, where everybody was homeschooled because they weren't able to go to the public schools because everything was closed down. And now a lot of students the age range of 16 and even above have mental health issues. And those to be cured can be very, very tricky, especially when they're that young.
Yeah.
Pavel,
If they have just AI teachers, they will be prepared for the future because we still are working for the humans. Maybe for the future where we working for robots, okay. But I hope it's
Yeah.
This is what I see as a problem, that
Yeah.
the screen cannot be good for your eyesight for that long time, like 8 hours straight, which we are experiencing in work, but starting from the young
Yeah.
age can be somehow.
I see even another difficulties. I remember lockdowns and kids learn is online.
Getting fat.
Taught online. So they were playing some video games, yes, on the same desktop, yes, and
Yeah.
like only trying to be seen as learning.
Online.
Yeah.
Right, right. And so, Bartosz, would you send your kids to this?
Yeah, yes, that's what the question is asked by Clara as the first one. I said that I see some benefits. Yes, so for example, for my Hania, for her being in society, it's an effort. Yes, and usually after lessons, especially loud lessons, she doesn't know enough power and energy to have some vital relations, social interactions during breaks. So for her, having some lessons in quiet, and nextly having the opportunity to have a good relationships in some breaks or even some additional lessons, social lessons with kids, I think it could work. Yes, and as well as for my son, because he's a smart guy and good, for example, in English. Yeah. Now, like the lessons are boring for him, and he's like he doesn't know what he can do, what else. So even sometimes he's interrupting the teacher. Yes. And so the opportunity for having the more tailored education, I think it also would have some benefits for him. But as we
and
Yes, that's a big issue. A big issue with internet, actually. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So what's your verdict, Geoffrey? It's like your final decision. Like here, is it is it a good idea, to replace teachers? Is this a good model for the future or not?
It's a good question. I don't know if it's it's hard to say if it's a good model, but I think the good things is we have to try something different. Actually, if you complain about something or a system and you never try to update or upgrade it, you cannot expect any new things. So for me, it's a good idea to try a new way of learning. But yeah, of course, for people like us, it appears weird, bleak, cold, but we'll see. I don't know.
Right. And Dominic, yeah, about 15 seconds. What's your position?
Yeah, I will not send my children to this to this classroom right now, but in future, maybe for some part.
Okay. All right, guys. Great session, right? So in a way, I'm kind of like a learning coach, right? And this experience it's like a conversation. It's human. I'm not teaching you grammar. It's not more about the information. It's more about the experience and the skills of talking to different people and sharing ideas. So in a way, this is kind of a good model, right? To go forward, to incorporate AI and learning, independent learning, but then also practical interactions, right? And that's what I think the key will be. Not to be polarized and choosing one side or the other, but more blending both. And that's, I think, a good conclusion to the lesson. Okay, so great. Any questions before we finish?
So are you human?
We will see. I am. I'm a human being. I still am, but you never know in the future.
Yeah.
Right?
And still you humanize us. Yeah, so it's good.
I'm a human, but we're in a digital world, so we're kind of 50-50. Yeah, but yeah, great conversation. So thank you everyone for sharing your ideas. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Good weekend, and I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Take care. See ya.